Hello, and welcome to the first live video, the first IRL video that I've got going on for Final Girl. So we're going to be doing Razorface, the Hellscape chapter in this. I've already set things up. Originally I was going to have my camera over at that section there to kind of have my face, but for now, because we're testing things out, we're seeing how things go. This is what we've done. I've, as I say, got the setup done the setup at the top. I haven't drawn the event yet. We're going to wait for the event until we're done setting up. But this is the camera angle that we'll be going with. I've got my starting hand. I've got all the dice here ready and prepped. They're just kind of out of the frame, but don't worry, you can see I've got stuff there going on, and we've got our afflictions on the left. With the Hellscape, the way how things go is we've got an ever-changing board that we have here. So you've got these 4 tiles along here, and I've laid the meeples down to make it easy for you to see. These tiles during every upkeep have the chance to be changed. I need to roll these 2 dice, and if we get the same symbol, we flip that token over. If we get 2 different symbols, we switch their position on the board. So the Hellscape is going to constantly be changing up whilst we're trying to do our objective, and whilst Razorface is obviously trying to kill everyone, and more importantly and upsettingly, trying to kill us. We've also, the special rule with Razorface is, so we can deal damage to him, but we can't get rid of his final token until we have gotten rid of all 3 of our afflictions. Now, our afflictions that we have here, we've got Experience Unbound, which purge requirement. We need to achieve or use our ultimate power, which is very upsetting. And when we are to purge with this, I'll put it in the middle of the screen here, when we are to purge this, Razorface gets 3 health. So it would be lovely for us to try and use that before he loses any health, but I'm not sure how that will go. Then we've got the Gift of Pain here, which the purge requirement, we need to deal at least 3 damage to Razorface in 1 action, and the purge effect means that we lose 1 health, I believe is what that means. And then the final one that we have is You Call I Come, which is such a the box, you opened it, I came. You Call I Come. It's such a dominatrix thing, which I suppose makes sense. Purge requirement, we need to discard a random item card, and the purge effect, place Razorface in your space. So those are the purge effects we need to get rid of before we can deal with that lovely little last health card. So before I get started, let's pull the event and we'll see what event we've got. Endless Suffering. When you search in the House of Mutilation, take damage. So that is unfortunate. That means we just won't search in the House of Mutilation, which it's kind of covered up by words here. I believe it's the one in the top left, but we'll see shortly. So we want to activate our ultimate ability as quickly as possible. I'm thinking we obviously want to try and save as many people as we can, so then we can get we can get this done, obviously. That is, we want to save 4 people, and where we are, unfortunately we don't have an exit nearby. We can go out through here, but there's also no exit here. I think the closest exit is actually going to be the one in the middle there in the top left. Or, actually, we've got one in the top right. So we've got already someone who can follow us. What we can do is maybe move into the next room. If we walk, we can move into the next room. And then pick up, that'll be, I think we can, yeah, we'll have those people following us. Yeah, so we can only have 2 victims following us. So I think what I might do is walk into that bottom right room. Then that way we can potentially search. Do we have a search card? We don't have a search card. It would be nicer, because if we search in there, we won't end up having to obviously pay for stuff. We can get rid of it. We can get rid of it quickly. Okay, we'll walk first. So the way how this works is we're going to play this card, which is one of our starting cards for walking. And we are going to be rolling 2 dice, because the killer is on track 5. And we're going to be seeing if we can, well, hopefully just be able to move. We'll be able to move regardless, but hopefully we won't lose life from this. So if I put it here, we got a 4 and a 3. Now I believe with both of those we need to discard cards for it to be a success. Yeah, so we've got 2 partial successes there. So what I will do is I think I will discard 2 cards to be able to make that a success, which I think we'll go with the weak and the focus for now. So we'll discard 2 cards to make one of them a success. So then that way, one of these come into success, I won't mind worry about the other one, and that means we can move 1 space. In which case I'm going to move into the space here with these 2 people, and we're going to put the time down 1. I'm then going to walk again straight away, but this time with the people following me. I'm going to hope to dear God that I don't get something that needs to discard some cards, and hopefully we can move 2 spaces to move out of this room. Hopefully. Oof, that's rough. That is rough. We can just take the fail. We can take the fail, and which I think I might do for now, and take the 1 damage, and then we can short rest. And then with that short rest, I think it might be like that's to me. I know it's tight, but it kind of seems beneficial to be able to do it. So I'm gonna take the fail. We're gonna lose 1 health. So I'll put the health token to the side. We still get to move 1. The time token goes down twice, which isn't as good. But we get to move 1 up to here, and we're going to have these 2 people follow us as well. Up to that section. And then I will try and do a focus to try and see if we can get the horror track down. Probably should have done this first, see if we can roll more dice. That is a double success. So not only, so we get to go up 2 on the tracker, but the horror mark goes down by 1, which is fantastic. We've got 1 card left. I honestly don't want to short rest yet. I think we're okay for now. So I think I'll leave it there for the action phase. So that's our hand. This doesn't go back into here yet. So we'll leave that off to the side. We're going to come into the planning phase, which we now get to purchase action cards and reset the time back to 6 and return any plays made. So what we have 5 currency here to play with. I don't think I'm going to be searching anytime soon because the searching's back down there. So what I'm thinking is we definitely spend 2 to take a sprint. I think that makes sense because we want to try and sprint up to that exit room up there as best we can. It might even be good to take 2 sprints, but I would kind of like something like distraction, for instance, to try and help. What else do we have? Improvise until the action phase ends. All 3 and 4s are successes. That's also very useful. Play after any roll to re-roll 1 dice, or to re-roll all dice and lose 2 time. Oh, I'm honestly debating a retaliate could also be quite nice. I think, do you know what, we're actually going to go for a 2nd sprint for now. I shouldn't have used both my walks. That is on me. I haven't played Final Girl too much, so I'm learning what the best techniques are on this game the same time as you, if you're the first time watching it. And I've got 1 left over, which I suppose we might as well just purchase this one. A close call. So we can play it after any horror roll to redo stuff. So we don't have a fantastic hand after that. But that is the hand we have, so that's what we're going to be buying. So now the timer goes back up to 6, and it goes to the killer phase. So, resolve the killer actions and draw a terror card. So the killer's action, we can see in the top left of his card here, he is going to target the closest person, which the closest person will be here. He's going to walk to them, which he's not going to move, and he's going to kill them. So this will kill our first victim dead, and that token is going to move up by 1. So that is unfortunate indeed. Then we're going to flip a terror card and we're going to see what's going to happen here. So, devoid of life. If there are no victims in your space, which there isn't, now he's killed them, discard and draw the next terror card. That is unfortunate. So if we get to the bottom of this terror card deck, it means it's going to start the finale. So the faster we get to the bottom of this deck, the worse it's going to be. So let's see what this card is. Spiral of Death. Shift each Hellscape tile 1 space clockwise then place one new victim on the star and one new victim on the circle in the spaces of your choice. Okay, so we now need to move everything clockwise. So basically what that's going to be, obviously clockwise. This gets moved down to here. So pick this up really awkwardly. This gets moved to here. This gets moved up there. And this gets moved to here. Unfortunately, and annoyingly, that has kind of blocked us in and we don't have an escape. Then we need to add victims, which we only have one victim left, so we can only add the one victim. We only have one more victim to place on this board, in the star and the circle space. So the star space being up there and the circle space being here, which we're going to place them here, just so we can have the nice space for it. Now, the killer is going to, who is in this room, he's going to target the closest person, which is a mix between these two people here. I would assume he would always go for the one that is going to be worse for us. So he will move up to that room in the top left, and then he is going to kill. So he's going to move up here, and he's going to kill another one of his victims. That's going to push the event up. That's going to make his horror go back up one after we replaced it, and then what's going to happen there is now panic is going to happen. So, to panic, it's going to happen if someone died and the killer is in the room. This survivor here is going to be the one that panics. So we're going to roll a dice to see which way they're going to run out from, which they can only run out from a 5 and 6. That is a 6. They are going to run through there and out of... They're going to run out. They're going to leave. So it's nice that they're out the space. I do think they're going to get caught up on. I can't imagine that they're going to run very far. Let me just double check in the rules here. It's one space to indicate direction. Okay. So that is done. We're now going into the upkeep phase where we reveal the finale if there's no tarot cards left, and we rearrange items. So now we're going to be taking basically our 3 cards here. We're just going to need to try and make space for them. I'll move the dice over here instead. We're going to be putting these back down because these are now going to enter the shop as things that we can sit there and pick up next time we're on the shop phase. So now we also in the upkeep phase we need to roll our upkeep dice. So let's see what we get here. 2 different ones. We have gotten the fan symbol and miraculously this like star, northern star, which has left us a way to get to the exit with these 2 survivors. That is fantastic of a roll. That is really good. That is what we want. So it comes over to our phase. We are instantly going to sprint. We're going to spend cards to sprint and hope that we can get some decent successes here. So we're still only on 2 dice for the roll. That is 1 success, and we can move up to 2 spaces. So we'll put the time down by 2. And we're going to take these 2 with us. So it's going to go 1, 2. So we're not out of it yet. But I'm going to sprint again, instantly, using 2 on the timer. And hopefully we can get at least 1 success from this. And this will allow us to get to the exit. Ooh! And you know what? I am going to risk that, I think. I'm going to discard both of these cards to be able to make one of those into a success. That's going to allow us to move 1, 2 up to here with the 2 victims, and we are now on a bit where they can escape. None of our afflictions are about, like, basically some of the afflictions have it so you can sit there and instead of having one of the victims escape, you can choose to sacrifice them and kill them, and that's one of your afflictions. Thankfully, that's not one of ours. So, with that, we've got 3 people on that space, and we are going to save all 3 of them. There is no reason for me to keep them there. We are going to save all 3 of them. So, we're going to save this first one. We're going to place them on top of the heart, so we can get our health back. We're going to save the other one to reduce the horror level by... Ooh, do we want to buy more cards? Put our time tracker up by 2? Yeah, I think we'll do that. We're going to put the time up by 2, which happens instantly. And then the third one we're going to do to go here, which allows us to then move 1 space. And that 1 space we're going to move to is going to be back here with this person. That's the end of our turn. So now it comes to the planning phase and buying. We have got 4 that we can purchase. What we're going to do is I'm going to be smart and I'm just going to take 1 focus and 1 walk. I don't want to take all of them to make it too much. I think we're also going to want to try and search for an item because, as I say, we want to use our ultimate ability, which means saving someone. We're right next to someone here, so we can bring them in. Actually, yeah, we don't need search yet because we're probably going to be taking that victim into there if they survive, letting them go, so then that way we can achieve achieve or use ultimate ability. Perfect. So we'll be achieving our ultimate ability, which means Razorface will heal, but nothing will happen then, which will be good for us. And we're not going to try and deal the 3 damage one to him yet. And then we'll go towards the random item after the fact. So I think what might be good is something to be able to bring down his horror level. So I think spending 3 on distraction, I think could be a good shout for us. And then we've got the 1 left, which I think we're going to leave weak attack. We're going to get another close call. And I think that will be the cards that we end up going into the next round with, which I think I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. So now we're going into the killer phase. The killer is going to move to the closest person who will be there, and he will move into that space and he will kill that person. So that's 3 dead. He is now he's now on 2. He can move up to 2 spaces when he moves. So it's problematic. It is problematic there. I'm going to draw his terror card. And his tarot card is the Death Labyrinth. If there are no victims on the board, discard and draw the next one. There are victims on the board. All victims panic. All victims that enter the killer's space are killed, and then a new event is going to occur. So, all victims are going to panic. So, let's roll a dice and see which room every single victim is going to go through. I don't know if you need to roll individually for each victim. I suppose we will. I suppose it is. We'll roll individually for each victim. Actually, that makes the most sense. They won't all run in the same direction, so we'll start from the top row going downwards, from left to right. They're going to move 1. They're going to move into the room of the killer, and they are going to die. That is a horrendous, horrendous start, because that has just unlocked the dark power now for the killer. Do you know what? We won't reveal the dark power yet. We'll go through all this, and we'll do it in order. So that's 1. This person has got a 6, which means he's going to move on over to the middle room there. Everyone just seems compelled to want to walk towards him. That person's a 3. Unfortunately, they've walked away from us, so we can't save them anymore. We then got a 4, which they move up, and they also get killed. They're just walking in there to their deaths. What's going on? A 1. Thankfully, we've got someone smart. We do have 4 people on a space down here. But at least we had someone smart, they walked away. We just got to remember that that person doesn't need to panic again, so I'll leave them off for a now. 5, there's not actually a 5 on this space, so this person does not move anywhere. Go on, give us a 4 or a 6. That is a 1. That is not what we wanted. I'd rather you have moved up towards us to make life easier. That is a 3, so you moved up, but you're still far away. And now the final ones, we've got a 5, so they are also going to move onto that space. That is a slaughter waiting to happen, and I am not too fond of it. I can't lie. We've got one person's moved off the space. Oh, we've got another person's moving up the space up to there. And then, oh, I've rolled it off into there. That is a 4. They're going to move over to here. And then these are the 2 people that were there earlier. 2. I am starting to think that, so it's here, I am starting to think that you don't roll for each individual one. Now that I've done it and seen how long it takes, but we started it. We're here now. And we've got a 4, which is going to be to there as well. And now we draw, oh, before we draw the event, let's do the dark power. So let's see which we got for this turn. Also, I don't want to hear it, alright? I don't have sleeved cards. Sue me. Final Girl is still relatively new for me. We have no sleeved cards. I plan on getting a board mat as well. Okay, I will get these things. Don't hate me yet. Soulbound. When this is revealed, gain a new affliction. So now we're going to get a 4th affliction. So we're going to reveal this, and it is a lamb to the slaughter. Purge requirement. When you would save a victim, it is killed instead. And then it's going to gain a horror from that. That's the one I was literally referencing to earlier. So that's what we've got. So that is set. That's the killer phase done. Panic phase is also done. It's going to come now to the upkeep. So we're going to move all of our 0 costs or just all of our cards back. Sprint is also kind of meant to be. I'm just going to move you up and put sprint there. We can see the cost of the cards. I had them all nice in like ascending order, but we'll leave that. This is our deck, and we're going to do the shape or the scape. That is 2 different symbols. And we're going to have the fan moving with this, which actually works pretty well because now it means that the killer cannot move through there to attack them, but he is going to come down to this like, oh, it's actually pretty bad. I take that back actually. So yeah, we'll go now into the next round. Okay, so next round we're going to put our back up to 6. I was meant to do that at the start of the last one. Let's see what we've got going on here. I think first of all we're going to go... it's a tough one really. We're going to go with a distraction first. I'm going to play distraction. I'm going to try and see if we can get this horror track down. He's killed so many people, he's going to be getting his power very shortly. We just need to save one more person to get our speciality, but I don't want, just in case we don't get someone out on this time, we're going to use distraction. So let's hopefully we can get some good successes here. That is 3 partial successes, in which I will discard 2 cards to be able to get at least 1 success from that, which is going to allow us to at least do that by 1, and we gain a time. So we're going to be buying a lot for the next round, but it's not so good. We only have 1 card left, which is going to be a walk. Our hand management here definitely needs work. I'm very poor hand management. So we're going to roll here, hopefully. Oh, that's terrible. That was 2 1s. So we're going to take a damage from that. We're going to lose 2 time, but at least we get to move the 1 space. So we're on a space with someone. Hopefully then next round we can save them. So it comes to our keep phase. We've got 5 that we can spend on. I most certainly want to buy a sprint for 2. Because we're going to try and make our walk over to there. I'm going to take this focus so we can try and get things down. I'm going to take the rest. These are both free, so it's okay. I don't think the killer's going to reach us just yet. Although one of the discarding the random item, we need to prepare for that, because when we discard a random item, he will come for us. I might spend 2 on the hell shift, you know. Or do I do another distraction? There could be a huge killing spree that happens in this next round, which is what I am afraid of. I realised I didn't draw another event actually as well. Sorry, I did forget to do that. Let's draw the event. When you search in this... oh, it switched. So now when we search in that place, we take damage. That's where the event has switched. I don't want the search action yet, and I don't think guarding's going to be very useful right now. Switching the Hellscape I also don't think is going to be the most needed. Oh, do you know what? We could potentially... Well, we're going to sprint to save people, and then we're going to try and walk back to the middle, so then we can search. Oh, no, wait! The middle has an escape! Oh, that's good. Okay, we're going to spend another 2 to get a search. So we can actually try and drag these people into the middle, save them. That can be very, very nice. And then we're going to spend our last 1 to get the other close call. I think that is a good hand there to go into the next round with. I I am happy with that. I'm happy with how that's going to go. So that is that done. Go to the killers. The closest person, he can't go that way because there is no wall connected to it, so he is going to go down. And because he moves down here, he does 2 damage, so he's actually going to kill both of these people off in one go, and that's going to increase that by 2, which not only is going to increase this, but is going to draw a brand new event, which is going to come up. This one being the sadistic seeker. The victim closest to you is now the seeker. If the seeker is in your space during the upkeep phase, you lose a health. If the seeker dies while in your space, you put the terror down by 5. And if the seeker leaves play, you discard this card. So, the closest person to us is now the seeker, who unfortunately is going to be that person there, which isn't very nice. If the seeker is in your space during the upkeep phase, which the seeker is going to be in our space during the upkeep phase, we are going to lose life from this. So that is unfortunate. And also we're going to have a new event. Oh, that was the event. Yep, I've done that. Cool. Well, not so cool. Let's draw a tarot card. If the final girl or the killer are on a Hellscape tile, it goes up by 1. Both of those are at 1, so it only moves to 1. We're very close to getting bad. Then he's going to pick the closest person, which will be the people below him. He's going to move down here, and because he's now got 3 damage, he's going to kill both of them. And that's going to go 1 to go up by the 1, which is going to make the horror go to there, which isn't good. Then it's going to go 1 again, which basically recovers 1 HP, and we discard, so we just get rid of this, the next terror card. That's what's going to happen from now onwards. He is now right at the very top of that terror track, and he's going to start churning through those terror cards to try and get the finale out of us faster, which is not good. So we go to the upkeep phase. We need to lose 1 health because we are in the place with the seeker. And we need to roll to see how the terrorscapes are going to move and shift. We are going to be switching places with this, which is not terrible. Actually, it kind of works in our favour. We can get 2 people by moving this way and escaping now. And also let's assign these to where they need to be. Focus and distraction. Okay, well, first things first. We are in a horrendous place. We are going to try and focus. So we can try and see if we can redeem some dice. We only get to roll 1 dice. So, let's see. That is bad. Let's play close call. Play after any horror roll to re-roll 1 dice, or re-roll all dice for the cost of 2 time. We're just re-rolling 1 dice here. We rolled 2 ones in a row. No. Okay, that is rough. That is rough. We rolled 2 ones in a row. Okay, we're going to try and sprint then with just the 1 dice. That is unfortunate. So because we failed, that's going to put the time down by 2. 1, 2. And that is upsetting. I've got a cat off to the side of the screen. So yeah, we are going to try and sprint, which I've just put down at the bottom. Let's put it up there so it's on show. Okay. Let's hope we do not roll a 1 again. Bean Angel, want to bless the dice? Let's see. We got a 4. Now, I am going to discard the 2 dice for this to make that a partial success, because we are in desperate need of that. So we're going to have the time go down by 1, and that is going to allow us to move 2 spaces. We're going to move 1 into here, take this person with us, 2 into here, and we are going to save both of those people because we are at the exit. So with this though, so we're going to save 1 person to make 2 on the horror track, go back up so we can roll 2 dice. Then when you would save a victim, it is killed instead, is exactly what we're going to do. So that person gets killed, and the purge effect happens, is that. So we have purged 1 affliction. A note that I didn't make, and I should have made, if we ever need to draw an affliction and the affliction deck is empty, it's game over. So that's useful to know. So now we come into the buying. We have got 3 things we can buy. We're definitely taking focus. We're definitely taking walk. I think we're going to be. We don't need that one yet. We want search, so we're going to need to spend 2 to buy search, and we can spend the one left that we have to get close call. I'm honestly debating bringing weak attack as well. Oh, also, sorry, because we saved the 5 victims as well, we can now turn over our sheet and we get our special ability. During the killer's phase, draw 2 terror cards instead of the normal one, choose one to resolve and shuffle the other back into the deck. So that is very useful for us. For each additional victim saved, move 1 space. So every time I get to save a victim, I now can move an extra space, which is also very nice. And because we've done that, Razorface heals 3, he can't overheal. That is a 3rd one done for us, which is great, that's fantastic. So now we just need to do at least 3 damage to Razorface in 1 action phase, and then we need to discard a random item card, which we are in the middle bit to be able to go and discard another action card, which is why we've got the search. Cool. So we've bought all the cards. Let's place these cards back into, so then we can come back to them later. We go to the killer's phase. So the killer is going to move to the closest set of people, which is going to be here, and he is going to murder both of them. So that is another 2 dead victims, and for both of those that's going to go 1, 2, that is 2 more terror cards that get discarded. Then he's going to draw a terror card, to which we get to draw 2 terror cards because of our special ability, and we get to choose which one we want. That deck is getting very small. So we can have him kill someone, we can have him move and kill again, which would end up killing these 2 people, but we lose 2 time. Or we place 1 new victim on each named space, so we have 3 named spaces, and then we draw 2 events. I honestly am thinking about drawing the 2 events. I'm assuming, because it's saying to draw 2 events, that all of these events stay in play. So they are permanent events that are in play. Well, it would suck to draw an event that deals damage. We can't do this one. So it's going to have to be this one to place a new person in, and then we'll shuffle. We only have these 2 cards left. And thankfully I have a shit memory, so I didn't remember what order I just shuffled it in. So because of that, we need to place 1 new survivor in each of these locations. Of the namespaces, which is good for us because I get to save that person straight away, and it allows me to move an extra space from the get-go. And we drew 2 new event cards. Our first event card is Lost in Excuses. When the horror level increases or decreases beyond the limit, do not increase blood or time. So basically, if we're here and we gain another horror, this tracker goes up. Or if we're here and we reduce the horror and we get another time, we don't get that either. So it's both a good and bad. I mean, because we're on the complete opposite end of this spectrum, I think it's more beneficial than not. And then we've got Barrier of Blood. Place the Barrier of Blood token over the Nexus on the side of your choice. It is now only an exit or search space, but not both. Okay. That is problematic because we are on that space, and I would very much have liked to have been able to have used both of these. Now, we have to search in order to discard a random item. So I'm actually going to block the exit here, I think. So we're not going to get the benefit from saving the survivor. We're going to block the exit because I want to be able to use that search. And because the only rooms we can kind of go into, like we can try and move all the way over here to search, but we'd lose a life from it, and also it's such a long movement, I don't think we'd reach it in time. So that is that done. The panic phase happens. No one's in the same room as the killer, so no panic happens. And then we're going to roll the dice, and we have got star and fan, which are switching places, which unfortunately is these two, which now the killer has direct access down to where we are. Which is scary, because the killer is dealing 4 damage. Which is going to be a lot, and I do not have a guard card. I cannot guard any of that damage right now. Okay, so it comes back to us. So, first things we are going to do is we are going to, well, we will, search. I think we will search. If we fail, it is going to increase it by 2, or we can increase it by 1 and lose 2. Oh, take the top item card on your space, I see. So that's it's beneficial. But we get to roll 2 dice again now, thankfully. Oh. That is very bad. Oh wait, sorry, we have close call. We can play after any horror roll to reroll 1 dice or reroll 2 for the time of 2. I will spend 2 time to reroll both those dice. We are in a trying time right now. Thank you. That is 1 success. That is 1 success. I don't care about doing the double success. We're just going to take the top item card on our space, and our top item card in the Nexus is the Ancient Sword. So the Ancient Sword, whenever you damage the killer, we get to put a thingy down as well, which is quite nice, and that goes straight into our hands. It deals 1 damage. I don't know what the 0 is there. I'm assuming that's like the bonus dice. But it deals 1 damage every time we hit. It might be useful to keep that sword on us for now, as opposed to discarding a random item card. Keeping it on us. Because we can maybe search again and then just attack the killer. So the next turn we can sort of search whatever next item we get, we discard that, and then we use the sword to kill the killer and hopefully go down, hopefully survive, and then deal at least 3 damage to one razor face. We can maybe get it done in 1 go. It's getting quite close. And then what we're going to do... we will focus. We'll try and do a focus here. That's 1 success. Time goes down by 1. Push that up to at least allow us to not gain any more horror levels from that. And I think we're just going to keep walk, and we're going to leave it there. So now it comes to the planning. We've only got 3 that we can spend. But what I will be doing is grabbing weak attack now for free, because that's most certainly one that we're going to be doing. I think the short rest as well, because we do need to try and heal. I would like to do big damage. Unfortunately, we can't afford ferocious attack. It could be good to get improvise, to try and have those as successes. That's only for the horror rolls until the end of the action phase. We do want another search, actually, don't we? So we're going to spend 2 to get another search, because we want to be able to discard an item. We're going to take this focus, obviously, as well. We've only got 1 left. We'll take the close call. And that is going to be that one done. So, focus, search, and the close call. Killer phase. Okay. He is going to move and kill. So he's going to move right to here and butcher these 2. And there is a body pile stacked up here. And that is going to discard the 2 remaining terror cards that we have left, which is going to trigger the finale come the upkeep phase. Which he can't draw another terror card now. And because he can't draw another terror card, actually, I believe that just sort of triggers it now. Let me just double check in the rules for that. If it triggers it now, or if we just need to wait until a little bit later before it triggers it. No, it just says when there are no terror cards left in the terror deck. So... he's not going to do another action for now. It's the calm before the storm. Is what we have here. We're calm before the storm. So we are going to panic happens. Panic does not happen. Upkeep phase, so we're going to be teleporting some people away. And that is going to be this nice empty room with this non-empty room. Neither of them are connected to other stuff, but there you go. That's going to be that. And then comes to our phase. So, first of all, I think we will short rest. I think is what we're going to try and do. And we're going to try and heal some health up because there is a storm a-brewing. And it's coming around the corner. Hopefully we get double success here, so please. That is a double success. Cinema. Boom. We're back to full health in preparation. Okay, now we are going to search. And we're going to hopefully obviously get another item here. Another 2 successes. Take the top 2 item cards on the space of your and choose. Place one on the top face up or underneath of the deck. So we get to look at the top 2 cards. First one is the Pins of Pain and Pleasure. Once per action phase, when you are in the killer's space, the killer recovers 1 health. Then you gain 3 times. So the killer can recover health, but we get 3 times. So it'll be good for us to purchase stuff. Basically, in this other one, place the Bone Chariot in the closest Hellscape tile space. Once per action, place this... okay. We're going to get rid of this one. Because this one, as in we're going to take this one. Because this one actually is really good. We could make a plan of like searching, grabbing this, being in the killer's space for the action phase, gaining 3 points, moving out, and then basically spending tons of money to get ready for a big finale hit. But this is the one we're going to take. The reason I'm not going to... Oh, it's discarding at random. We're just going to leave it in our backpack, and I'm not going to bother putting the chariot down for now. Place the Bone Chariot in the closest Hellscape tile space. So it would be any of those. Once per action phase, while with the chariot, lose 2 time to move the chariot to any Hellscape tile space. So it's a very strong card. It's just not one we're going to be using right now. So we're not going to discard an item then yet. What we're going to do is we are going to... I think this is meant to be up on 6. Obviously I forgot to move that. That is meant to have lost time for doing the search action. But not for that one. I think we're going to leave it there and not spend any more. And it does mean we're going to be taking damage though. So we kind of do have to spend to walk. So I'm thinking if we just walk away, if we escape, I think that's probably going to be yeah, sorry, we'll do that. We'll walk. We're going to have to. I kind of wanted more to spend, but I think we do have to walk. Which we've got 2, which we will discard 2 cards there to be able to walk. So with that on our walk, that allows us to move 1 space. Timer goes down by 1. We're just going to walk out to here, and that's going to be the end of our phase. So it comes to the killer phase. Sorry, I forgot to even release the finale card on the upkeep. I forgot to even do it. I even mentioned it. This is what the finale is. The killer was meant to move, roll a dice to determine the number of attacks. So the killer was actually meant to, before we was able to do any of that, the killer was meant to move to there. We would have been here at this point. And we need to roll a dice for the amount of attacks the killer does, which would have been 4, which is 2 attacks, which means the killer would have attacked us twice, and the killer does 4 damage. We had no blocks in hand when this happens. So, if you are the final girl, and the target and the killer into space, they automatically damages you unless you defend with a reaction card. You will lose health equal to the damage indicated by the killer's attack value. Lose 1 health mark for each point of damage. If damage is being applied and only your final health token remains, reveal it to see if you're really dead. So actually, that whole round shouldn't have happened. He's going to move into our space, and he is going to deal an attack us for 2 twice, so that's 4 damage each. So the first one is going to be all 4 of our health tokens are gone. Then he's going to attack us for 4 again, which is going to kill us, but there's a chance we survive. On the other side of this token is either going to be a health that we recover or nothing. So I'll bring it up close to the camera so we can see. Let's see if we've got anything or if it's a blank tile. it's blank. It's blank, so we're dead. We fail. We fail the scenario. That's unfortunate. Let's see, we didn't even do any damage to Razorface. Let's see if he would have... Razorface's was also blank if we had gotten to it, but that would have been it. The plan was, if we had survived and could have then done the thing to walk away, was basically, literally we was going to prepare everything, then we was going to get guard and other attacks, and then we're going to go into attack, but unfortunately I think this like body accumulation that we've got going on here is kind of a big downfall that we ended up having. But yeah, thank you very much for watching the first IRL video that I have. I first of all want to apologise for the lighting and for other things, the microphone as well. So I'm recording it on a camera and the microphone is being used on the camera, hence why a lot of things are going to be a little bit more open, or it's going to sound more open-ended. I will be buying a microphone. I just need to wait to obviously get more money for that. I know that we've definitely played some things wrong as well within this, so if I did, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to come and do this again at another time. And potentially obviously get other final girls later on. But yeah, this is it. I am going to quickly turn on the light. As you can see, when I've got the light turned on, it's lovely. You can see so much, apart from this area here. This is where the light is like directly hitting the cards in this area. So it's going to be quite a dark video, what you're going to be watching, but what I might try and do is next time that I do this is I'll rotate my table around so the light isn't directly underneath it, because if the rest of the lighting is like this, then that's lovely. I do cast a shadow, but it's very nice around this section. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. So, take care.